A new Xbox dashboard just showed up. Is this thing headed to the handheld? The Xbox handheld is arguably, if you will, probably the most anticipated thing in the Xbox community right now outside of games. While we don't officially know that this is coming, Phil Spencer's kind of been like, yeah, this thing is coming. So when a new Xbox dashboard sort of showed up on my purview, I got a little curious about what the heck is this thing? Because at the end of the day, this is a dashboard that is Xbox related, and I'm not really sure if this is just a true concept, but this thing is like really well done, or if this is something we're going to see on future Xbox platforms. So we need to dive into the details. Now, there's a video and I've got a whole bunch of details, but this image and information really comes from a video from Top Gear, which I'll have linked down in the description below. They're interviewing the CEO of Rimac, and Rimac makes high-end electric vehicles. If you remember, Richard Hammond crashed one, which I know isn't all that unusual for Richard Hammond, but either way, they're spinning out a new company, I believe it's called Vern, and they have a new electric vehicle that's autonomous, and part of it is this Xbox experience. And so in the video, they get to this scene, and this is all living, like this is obviously a still, but if you look, this is the dashboard. There's no steering wheel because again, it's an autonomous electric vehicle using LiDAR and all that fancy technology at the end of the day. On the right side in that white panel, you will see some icons. One of them is an Xbox logo. And I kind of got to feel like maybe Xbox didn't just like say, hey, sure, use our stuff for free. We don't really care to promote your product. Like, it feels like maybe there's some more to this. When you see the video, you'll start to understand. But in that white area, there's other icons like Spotify and Teams and other things. And this is obviously some in-car entertainment. And when they clicked on the Xbox icon, this is what opened. And I have never seen this dashboard experience before. I looked at their web experience. Obviously, I know what the console experience looks like. And so this is, which by the way, I think this looks fantastic. I would not be against this, but there's some things going on here. I don't know if the game on the far left is actually on Xbox. I'm pretty sure it's not on Game Pass. But whatever. That information aside, this could be a mock-up, like a really fancy mock-up, which we'll see here in a second, or this could be some early look at something that's coming down the pipe. So here is the video. Those are the two gentlemen sitting in the car, and this video will loop. I try to put some soft black fades in between to try to make it less jarring, because there's not a ton of this content, but like you see the Xbox there. I will point out that that does look like an old Xbox logo, so that's sort of one sign that maybe this is just a true mock-up and not an actual thing, and that they just kind of hacked this together themselves. But if they did a pretty darn good job of making this thing. And as you can see in the bottom left of the screen up there, there's some animated action going on, which again could just be playback video. Although there's some evidence that suggests that this is not playback video. But you can see this dashboard experience, and I'm wondering, like, what the heck is this? This is really looking really well polished. Now you're going to say, Brad, but how do you know this isn't just a playback video? If you look at the very beginning, right around there, on the right side, you actually see a mouse cursor that is moving, that is being controlled by the two gentlemen who are sitting, which makes this feel a little bit more than maybe just a video playback. Granted, they could be clicking on something and it is, but the point here is that this isn't a static image that was just thrown into a random vehicle. Like, there's some effort that was put in here that is a little bit more polished, if you will, than we have seen from other sort of mock-ups and concepts. And the fact that this is in a Top Gear video and the fact that this is the Rimac CEO, they may have done something with Microsoft to say like, hey, we'll absolutely highlight Xbox game streaming in our vehicles as we begin to promote this product. And so that could be part of this conversation. Again, this experience looks like it would translate very well, by the way, to a small screen, because the same aspect ratio there is roughly what you see on a handheld, right? It's not quite 16:9. And so you could imagine swiping through catalogs and everything else and then being on a handheld. Or this could be a future version of the Xbox dashboard. Now, the Xbox dashboard on the console was, I don't want to say redesigned. It was updated not long ago. But again, like to go through all this effort to create something that is never going to happen feels a bit disingenuous. So there's a couple like realistic options here. One, Xbox is certainly on board with this, and they helped do this, and they said this is an interface we approve of, and things are going to be happening like this. The other option is like Xbox is not on board, and they are certainly finding this out as much as I did, and that some other company is building all this out and claiming this is going to happen, which would feel, I feel like that is the least likely option at the end of the day, because if you think about it, you don't want to, if you're going to make a company angry by leveraging their IP, Microsoft probably isn't the one you want to do it, especially in a big splashy video like this. So my suspicion here is that they have permission from Xbox in some capacity to build out this experience and say, look, this is how you can play cloud gaming in your vehicles that you're going to be assuming selling here in the near-ish future. So yeah, so you've got like the live images in the bottom left. If you look actually at the bottom of like the Fortnite block there in the middle, it actually tells you people who are playing it. So there's some things like that make me feel like maybe that's not authentic, and maybe that is really just more of a mock-up. But again, like when you put all the pieces together, there's something going on here. And so if you're going to do this type of thing, which is the intent of this is supposed to be in-car entertainment. So these are short, snappy games. Most people aren't going to be taking an autonomous vehicle for hours at a time, where you, like, even a Fortnite game is what, roughly 20-ish minutes, unless you're terrible like me and you die real quick. So maybe Fortnite isn't the best thing like Vampire Survivors. Well, Vampire Survivors, as I say that, is like a 30-minute round if you go all the way to the end. Either way, these could be like little demos or Xbox things, or let's be real, there's going to be ads in this product as well at the end of the day. But when you really look at this, like, I don't know. What do you guys think? Like, if you look on the far right, by the way, that's like vehicle data. So like there is some truncation going on here with the actual experience, but like you have the far left experience, which is the Xbox button. And I'm assuming like the guide and navigation and friends and settings and all that stuff that we see on the current dashboard for when you press the Xbox button, like all those lists of items are probably going to be there. That is my guess. I don't know. I just saw this. Somebody's going to be like, Brad, what is this thing? And it's like, I don't know. Like, I was just watching my YouTube, burning some minutes. And I was like, man, this is super interesting. This is not something that we had seen before. Or if you have seen it, please let me know where you have seen this other than this video. Because to my knowledge, at least on my quick reviews of everything, this isn't an interface that Microsoft has shown off if they did build it. Now, if this company built it, that's one thing. But then it gets a little sketchy on the IP rights and all that about promoting somebody else's stuff. Either way, let me know what you guys think. Do you like the way that this thing looks? I personally do. I think it looks fantastic. I think that's it's better than what we have now. The one thing that tells me Microsoft probably wasn't super involved, there's no Game Pass ads, there's no other like sort of that content, that upsell promotional content, but it would work super well on a display like this in a car, and maybe that's sort of where this thing ends. So either way, let me know. You guys like what this thing looks like? I'm super interested by it. I always love concepts, and there you go. As always, make sure to keep it subscribed here, because the only BS on this channel is me.